I am the wife of a British national and the mother of 3 small British children, and I do not have the right to live here. That's something for the Home Office to decide. And they can decide that the answer is no. Where my husband must earn £18,600 per year in order to meet the minimum earnings threshold to sponsor me as a spouse. He doesn't earn that amount of money. But even if he were to go out tomorrow and to get a job that would then pay him $18,600 plus per year, in order to make a new application for a spousal visa under UK immigration rules, I would have to leave the country to do so, which would mean separating the family for an indefinite period of time while that application was being processed. There's nothing that says it's going to be successful, and there's nothing that says it's going to be timely. There's no mandate for a government to hand back an application, hand back a decision with any reasonable timescale. It could be 1 month, it could be 2 years, and it could be a no. I can't get a UK passport because there's a process, and what we're really terrified about, and what's likely, is that we'll wind up with a rejection and then a lengthy appeals process. It doesn't just cost money. There's no legal aid. So you do have to engage a solicitor. And these things can take years. I mean, the last time when we changed my my working status to a marital status, the whole process took about 14 months. And we were lucky. And I was lucky that I didn't have to leave the country at the time to do so, because at that time my eldest was a young baby. If you think about it, 14 months down the line is a very, very long time to ask someone to be separated from their new family. So you can't imagine sitting one day in your garden and the next you're going to be detained by immigration authorities and forced to leave the country away from your family. And if you're deported, you can't enter the country again. You're not given the right to enter the country legally, ever. Or Theresa May's plan to introduce the minimum earning threshold was being announced. We were concerned. We went to go and see our MP, Rob Wilson. We went to go and see him at his surgery, and he very callously said, well, can't you just make more money? Just get a better job. And my husband, I think, earns a very decent living. I think he works very, very hard. He certainly doesn't sit around the house. Months into our marriage, my husband was made redundant from a completely different line of work. And he lost his father a couple months after that. And then to his great credit, he picked himself up by his bootstraps and he went back into lorry driving. And not that he wanted to do that, but that's a skill that he has and what he's good at. And for the sake of being able to provide for the family, that's what he did. And after all of that, to then go to your MP and he's just said, basically what we felt like he was saying was, well, it's just not good enough. I've told anyone who will listen, his actual words to us were, well, this is the new rule that's coming into place. It is right, and some families will unfortunately be a casualty of the new rules. It's saying certain types of work are worthy of building a family life out of, and other types of work aren't. The European economic migration meant and means that if you are willing to work, you have the right to move into any member state and find a job and bring up a family, bring your dependents. Britain leaving the EU is very much saying, well, no, we don't want that. We want to make sure that people who are coming here are making enough money first, before we even let them in. We're told that the reason why the rules are so draconian is because we want to make sure that nobody's being a drain on society's resources. To suggest that we want to make sure that nobody comes over here as a drain on society, you're suggesting that every person functions as an island. And they got to where they were without any help or care or support or nurturing. There was nobody in the background making sure that that person became who they were, that they were nurtured to being able to be the earner who they are. Who do you think got them there? What exactly are we measuring? What are we measuring when we say we don't want people to be a drain on society? What are we asking people to be in these rules? It feels like we're asking people to come over deliver labor and leave, unless you have pots of money and then come in and deliver money and stay. It eats at us. It's a thing that dominates our conversations. The children see how upset I am. I think my husband as well, he's sort of he doesn't know how to fix it. It's a thing that he should be able to fix and he can't. I'm just in distress all the time. And I have 3 small children who still need to be brought up. However I feel, however stressed out I might be, they still need bringing up by a caring, attentive parent. And how hard it is to suppress all of those feelings of stress, of anxiety, of feeling unwanted, of not being able to plan for their future, and at the same time wake up every morning and say, here's your breakfast, get on your shoes, don't forget your packed lunch, let's go on to school, have you remembered to go to the toilet?